buy our stuff.
Take a better scene. It's what we're doing. Come and check it out. It's what we're all about. 561 Music.
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
Hi, Ben.
How's it going? What's your name, buddy?
This week it's Francisco.
Oh, okay.
How you doing?
I can do that. Yeah. What's your real name?
Hector.
There we go.
Damn it.
So, how are you doing, Hector?
I'm doing all right.
That seems like it.
But now you just screwed up my witness protection. You know?
Seemed like you're in a really chirpy mood, actually.
Well, I wasn't here last week, so I'm in a great mood.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You're starting to limit your time in front of Ben. I put you in a good mood.
You get it.
it. So, what have you been doing the last week?
I was over in Sarasota, man, helping set up for the Sarasota International Chalk Festival event. And this year it was wild, man. We had chalk artists. We had mural artists,
I love it when there's mural artists there.
Illusion corner artists, illusion artists.
What's that?
It's a 3D piece, but it's three planes. It's a left wall, a right wall. They create a 90-degree angle, and then a floor. And
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, you paint all three surfaces to create one cohesive illusion that does not look like three surfaces.
Cool.
And then there's chalk artists and stuff, and then they had these flower carpet artists, which literally laid flowers in the road, cut all these buds and leaves and things, and laid them in the road to create these images and stuff. We had sand art artists that used all the way from India that used different color sand and created portraits with sand on boards and stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on. But it was cool, man. It was cool. So I created a chalk piece and I created an illusion corner.
Nice one. We missed you this weekend. We were playing, just me and James, and we did a couple of 4-hour ones actually, which for a duo is, especially when you're there to be a full band.
Sure.
4-hour gigs are pretty brutal, but we had a good time. It was O'Shea's 30th birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did any of the ladies come up and ask you where the bass player was?
Yeah, loads. Well, actually, no, only 2 dudes.
Oh, well, that's sad.
It was good, though. It was all the usual suspects at O'Shea's.
Okay.
You know that one guy who always comes up to us and asks us
for songs that we don't play.
Yeah, but he really likes the band, though. He's he loves the band, always comes to see us play. And I imagine when he's not had a couple, he's really nice too.
Yeah.
But he just gets obsessed with asking us to play songs, doesn't he?
Yeah, songs that we don't play. And it's the same songs. He asks for the same handful of songs every time.
Yeah, I know. And by the way, if you happen to be watching, I don't know if you are, but if you happen to be, thanks so much for coming to the gigs. We're not being mean. It's just maybe don't ask us for covers every time you go to the gig. Yeah, so that's what's been going on with us. And I've been, seeing as you were away chalking, I've been thinking more and more about the one that I have to do in February and trying to get my head in the right place for it, do some practice and stuff.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, plenty of time.
So I know it's so far away. I don't know why I'm so worried. But you know what, though? With me, that's always what happens is I think, oh, it's far away. I don't have to worry about it. And then bam.
And then you're like, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying not to be that guy this time. Well, we have JJ Rivera and Jakob Takos with us today. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good, man. How you guys doing?
Yeah, very well. And the reason we had you on, I think it might have been Jake's idea actually, is we did a songwriter night last weekend, and it was a fabulous night. It was just one of the best gigs I've been to in a long time. Everyone was listening, and there was this atmosphere of respect, and you guys all just played loads of songs. I mean, it's over 4 hours, so usually those nights aren't as long as that. But you guys just held it down, and you were both just played loads of your own material. And it's really nice to hear some of the B-sides and some of the stuff you don't usually play and stuff. It was cool. How did you guys enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it, man. I was very stoked when you invited me, and then once I was there and met the other guys and heard all the songs, it was a magical night for me, and I ain't bullshitting. That was
right. Was for me too.
I loved it, man.
Yeah, it was dope. It was awesome to be a part of. I mean, I've done a songwriting session kind of round circle before, but nothing kind of in that format, and not really an audience I was so engaged to as well. So I mean, I never gotten that much of a response, and even people craving for stories to be told before the songs that you write too, and then also kind of the on stage banter. I feel like I walked away learning something a little bit more about just how to approach songwriting a little bit more too. I mean, that's why we kind of talked about it afterwards. You're like, how was it? I'm like, dude, that was awesome. There's so many things you can kind of go about that. And then I even said, like, I mean, you guys have a podcast, so you guys can talk about it. It's like, oh, why don't we just do an episode?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's an interesting thing, because I know there's some things that I've got to say on it. But what would you say you did learn about it?
Well, we were talking before the podcast. I learned that I need to have a song about drinking, at least. One song in the back pocket. Everyone's got a song.
Everyone else did.
Yeah, I mean, Jutt
What's
had.
wrong with you?
Jutt had a handful of good songs about drinking. I learned that I need to have a nylon string guitar just somewhere in my arsenal. I mean,
I feel that.
The man proved himself right here.
Yeah, when JJ came on the podcast, I had to go, and I'm jealous. I don't have one either. I'd love one.
Yeah, it was I mean, even before that, I was at the Sugar Shack sessions with an artist that will soon be revealed, I guess. I don't know. But the acoustic guy playing over there had a nylon string. And I'm like, damn, this is such a really cool sound. So I learned that. And then also I kind of learned just to fine tune kind of my communication a little bit on the mic. I don't feel like I've spoken that much on a microphone as I'm playing. I kind of just like play my music, or I'll like say something kind of little, or have like your little lines that you kind of like plug and chug here.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, and
I just have like 3 or 4 things that I don't think I've not said in years.
Yeah,
I just can't help it. It comes out.
Well, how about, I mean, being a bass player, like, do you feel like you kind of like banter, do a little mic banter?
I can't mic banter. Like sometimes, every once in a while, something will happen. Ben will break a string or something will happen, and he'll be like, talking to the mic guys. I immediately look at James and I'm like, say something. I freeze. I'm like, buy our stuff? I don't know.
I freeze. I start cussing at people. I'm like, why am I doing this? And there's been times too where I feel like I'll say something, and then I just see people's like faces glazing over. I'm like, okay, I got it.
Well, in all fairness, though, when you're doing those 3 or 4 hour like cover gigs and stuff, you're saying that you learn that you had to, that it's nice to tell stories and all this stuff, But when you're doing those longer gigs, a lot of times people aren't even half the time they're not even listening.
Yeah.
Or if they are, they're like barely listening. So telling a story really means nothing.
Yeah.
In a case like that, in a case like what you guys just did, absolutely.
Yeah, it was a really, really nice change of pace, because that was something that I said to the guy. I wrote like a night of songs and stories on the poster, and you guys all delivered, and it really worked, because I like to know what the songs are about. I introduce my songs and say a little bit about what they're about on stage. But in the wrong kind of gig, which is nearly every gig I play, no one wants to hear that. They don't care.
Nobody cares, man.
But it's a muscle that just keeps on sharpening. Even if people are just like, if you got 30 people in the room that don't really give a shit, but like you're actually communicating well, you can look at yourself and be like, yeah, I said that properly. I said that well. So when there is an opportunity like the ones that you guys presented to us, where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this moment.
Yeah. That's cool. And I've got to say, I enjoyed it so much that the next one on December 1st, I'm playing it.
There you go.
I just got it. I got it because I was so jealous.
That was the first thing you say. You're like, I'm doing this one next.
I'm playing it too. Wait, I only have like 2 songs.
Perfect. You got the first set.
Yeah, there you go. If honestly though, Hector, if you want to do it, you can do a little cameo. You can come up and
play like one song.
Yeah.
But I got to give Ben props on curating the group of guys that was there, because you had a very varied group of people there. You had the country guy, the emo guy, the South Florida guy, the Latin guy, and it really made the night, man. That was...
Yeah, and that was something that I thought was really special, as well as, when I booked you, I was like, you said, is it okay if I sing songs in Spanish? And I was like, yeah absolutely,
please.
that'd be great.
Damn it, now I wish I was there.
I missed it. That's where I'm like, fucking eating nylon guitar.
Totally.
I also learned I got to practice my own songs, because I don't usually play them when I'm doing the 3-hour gigs. And there was one that I started and I'm like, fuck, I don't even remember how this went. And I had to stop in the middle of it. I'm like, I'm gonna play a different one because I don't remember how this one goes.
The 2 other guys who were there it was Jutt Huffman and Dominic Delaney. Jutt Huffman unfortunately couldn't make it. Dominic Delaney isn't here because I forgot to ask him. So sorry, Dom. I'm an idiot.
A very talented guy, Dominic.
Yeah, absolutely he is.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like the way he told stories in such confidence too. I feel like he had just the whole crowd just just listening to him and his every move. I mean, he even like built up, I think it was his Canada song that he wrote about just kind of like going to the border of Canada, accidentally kind of bringing something into Canada, use your imagination there, coming from California. But he told like this whole story without giving too much of the story away. And then when he sang the song, you could hear people kind of like really sinking into the lyrics.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool.
Yeah, he's really good about that. That's something he's gotten really good at with these like Amtrak tours and all this other stuff he does. He's gotten really good about that.
And the difference between Dom and a lot of the gigs Killbillies play, not necessarily some of the other bands I'm in, and not necessarily all Killbillies gigs, but the difference is that he plays the kind of gigs where people do listen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what that's the kind of gigs he plays. He's not doing the 4 hours play a bunch of cover gigs. He's only doing like original gigs, and and so he's got he's patted down. He's really good at it. And
Where do you get these original gigs?
So they're relatively hard to come by, but they are around. And there's just a few people who are booking them. Us being one, and then there's the places like Propaganda and Respectable Street and Rudy's sometimes. And what I find is the smaller ones, the singer-songwriter type ones, are harder to come by.
Yep.
There's open mics and occasionally someone will put one on. But like Dom was putting gigs on for a while. And Jake, you've put on gigs in the past. You did a festival, didn't you?
Ricky's put on stuff like that too.
Ricky does, yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's just like, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm doing this is to make more of an ecosystem of low key, like guy on acoustic guitar gigs, because there's not that many. And it'd be nice if there were more. There are a few, people, they're not out there. Right. But they're quite hard to
There's
find.
a lot of them out there, but like 99% of them are the cover gigs, the 3 or 4 hour cover gigs for an acoustic, an acoustic thing. I mean, you play them.
Yeah.
So the ones I got.
Yeah, you play them. You all play
them. Brewhouse Gallery is an awesome venue. It's the first time I've been there. I've been aware of it for years, but the first time I've actually been in there, and it's very welcoming, very beautiful. And
when was this gig? Was this weekend?
Sunday the 3rd?
Past weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
Past weekend, so I was away.
Well, there's going to be another one on December 1st, which I'm going to just religiously plug during this whole episode.
Do you have the lineup yet confirmed?
Yeah. It's going to be William Kimball, who is he's just been around for a long time. He's an absolute legend.
Yep.
He's a legend. I have recently got back in touch with him too for rather sad reasons.
I think that's your most viewed podcast episodes with him. I think.
Yeah, I had it's definitely up there. That one and the Ruby Tesla one.
Yeah, that's right.
That might be for different reasons.
Shout out to Ruby.
And Bryce Allen. Yeah.
Man. Legends.
Yeah, he just confirmed it actually. And I'm going to do it. And Tim O'Donnell from New
Oh, damn, dude. I'm going to have to drive down.
Yeah, dude, we're coming.
I don't want to state the obvious, but every name that you threw out, they were like, dude. And me, and the room went silent.
I was waiting for someone to point that out.
I like to put myself in good company. What can I say?
I love it. Yeah, dude, I wish I was here, man. The brew house is like quite literally 3 blocks from my house or something. Like I can walk there.
Well, I think, you'll be there for the next one. And the next one is going to be great as well. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to top the bill from last time. And I feel like I got just as good of a one. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's just taken a bit of work. Like I've been asking all these different people, and it just turned out that the people who could do it were some great people. So I'm chuffed.
I was just telling you about Tim O'Donnell playing with Fresh Cats, the pedal steel instead of horns. That was... love that guy, man.
Yeah, we're sharing stories before we're getting recorded, and it was a lot of history here in the original music scene.
Absolutely, yeah. Fresh Cats has been around for a minute. And we played...
Bryce is our godfather.
Yeah.
We played with you before Killbillies like a long time ago at a festival one time.
Yep. It's either Dancing in the Streets or Port Salerno Seafood, one of those.
I think it was the Port Salerno Seafood. Yeah. That rings a bell. Yeah. And we were talking about your band last weekend. It's like a once every 6 months situation now, is it?
Yep. Playing February 7th, Conky Joe's in Jensen Beach. That's the next one.
Man, we need to get back in Conky Joe's. I haven't been there in ages.
I just saw
they're building a whole separate area
That's
with
right,
the
yeah.
stage and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they've been building it for a year, but
Yeah, for
hopefully
real.
by
Years.
February it's built.
I just saw somebody else post. Nico posted something with some band that he plays with or something, and they were just playing Conky Joe's, and I was thinking that myself. I was
Low
like,
Ground?
oh,
The bass player
no,
guy?
Yeah.
it's
Low Grounds is Nico, but it wasn't Low Ground. It was some other band.
Is
that
Burn
He's got a
Basil and
band with
Burning
Tim
Breeze.
O'Donnell.
yeah,
Burn,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, and they were just there or something, and I was and when I saw the post, I thought the same thing. I'm like, man, it's been a long time since we played Conkies.
Yeah, I think it might be. I'm not sure, but I think that might have been one of the ones that Ron booked.
Yeah.
And we haven't been doing so much through Ron lately, so
Yeah.
maybe it's that.
Yeah,
What
he's
was,
booking that still.
Yeah.
What was the format this weekend? Was it like each person got up and had 45 minutes or
No,
something, or was
it
it
was
like everybody
2
got up
songs
at the
each.
same?
Yeah, so it was interesting. So yeah, everybody on stage, and that's the thing too. As I approached this, I had like my pedals because that's kind of like I do some looping stuff too, and I've done this in the past. But I saw no pedals on stage. I'm like, I don't want to be that one guy. But also, as much as I can kind of get out of my comfort zone a little bit too, and just really strip down some of these songs.
Yeah, I was really. It made me so happy because it's just a different experience hearing someone actually playing their instrument, and there's a fragility to it when it's just a guitar and a voice. It's like if you stop playing, everything would go silent. It's
Yeah.
just you.
It's
know?
so pure, and it's exactly like I mean, I'll know the writing. We can get into that later, but the writing process for us as songwriters too. I mean, sometimes for me, it just starts with a guitar and just a notepad or my phone, and just kind of that's how raw and just new it is.
Yeah. And it kicks you up behind it a little bit. I was talking to John Leonard, and he's going to do the one in February, and he sort of he didn't want to do this one because he's got some work on some stuff he wants to do, but he was saying like, thanks for asking me to do it because it motivated me to do it,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if there's got to be a reason. It's just like it's just like we all say here with teaching kids instruments. There's got to be a reason to learn it. And so, we book them shows so that they've got a goal ahead of them so they get better at the instrument. If you don't have some kind of goal in the future, then it's like, it's a lot harder to be motivated and stuff. And I love having that. I love having this deadline where I've got to be able to do something by because, it just changes your priorities.
It keeps me on the tracks for sure.
Yeah.
So how much time did everybody was on stage at the same time?
Yeah.
There were
Were there
two
forever, dude.
songs
Yeah,
each.
we had 2 breaks, and which I think maybe we could have 3 next time because I did feel a little bit sorry for you.
I think we
You
only
were-
had
we had
one.
one.
We had one.
We had
Oh, that's right.
And there was 3 of us in the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. You guys played a lot of songs.
So I was at the point where we're looking at each other. I'm like, all right, these are my worst songs. So here we go.
I really like some of the ones you
Sorry.
played towards the end. You did a grand job of, and I'd never heard before, and I thought they were great.
Oh,
actually.
some
The
decent.
story started going like, well, this song I wrote like in the parking lot on the way in.
I'm definitely gonna do more breaks next time. When I came in, because I couldn't get there for the beginning because I had a gig at Atlantic Avenue Yacht Club in Delray. It was like a punk show that the band are playing Bomb the Algorithm. But when I came in, he'd already been on stage for quite a long time. And I was like, oh no, they haven't had a break. But so then where you took a break and then it came back for the next set, it was like a weird amount of time. So I didn't know how to put a break in it. So next time I'll be there from the beginning, so I'll make sure it's 45 minutes or something like, and then a break. And should you ever do it again, you won't be on stage.
Hey, I mean, dude, that's the thing. I mean, my 3-hour gigs, I just play those straight sometimes, unless I have to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I'll look up and then be like, oh, I'm gonna take a break, but I'm like, I got like 30 minutes left.
Might as well keep
We
going.
do
Yeah.
that,
might
we
as well
do that
keep
all the
going.
time, man.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, I didn't mind being a guinea pig, man.
Exactly. Yeah. It was such a good process, and also this is the way we get to like hang out with like other musicians too, because everyone's always constantly gigging.
And I did have my looper in the car, by the way, too. So
And there were some very interesting people there too. There was some like,
Yeah, Jet brought some fans, which is cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there was Allegra Mars's mum was there.
Yeah.
And she's like a great
She's
singer-songwriter
incredible.
herself.
Yeah.
And then there was another guy who I don't know, but they were saying he'd like won some songwriting award recently. So there was people in the crowd who were not the kind of people who I really knew that well or expected. It was a whole different crew of people. Allegra's mum runs a songwriting workshop night.
Oh.
And I'm thinking of going to it. I think the next one's in February or something. And that was part of the reason why she came and she brought her friends was because she was like, okay, these guys are doing a similar thing. And they all had a great time.
Yeah.
They
That's
really
cool.
enjoyed it.
That's really
It's
cool.
it's cool just to be able to kind of just learn from everybody too, and just kind of just really be present in the moment. So just kind of just to sit next to you and just kind of like listen to you play. I mean, I didn't know how to kind of transition to the next person. That was another thing too, since we're kind of guinea pigs in this process, where it's like I'd finish my second song and I'd be like, there you go.
I do feel like, I do feel like the sound guy is gonna know how to do it next time. I feel like you guys are guinea pigs for him a little bit as well.
Yeah.
I think trying to figure out that side of things. But and actually, that's something where when we do it, I'll make sure I bring some DIs with me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, do you think it needs an MC?
I don't know that it does. I mean, if everybody knows what the format is, I think it'll go smooth.
I think the MC would be good for kind of like those audio tree sessions you see on YouTube, or like a NPR or KEXP. How like there is an MC, but you only hear them like twice out of like the 30 minutes, where they like introduce the band, introduce the night, kind of get off stage, and then maybe if there's like a breaking point or intermission, then that's when the MC can kind of come up.
It sounds like it would be a lot like that Blue Plate Special radio thing that we did up in wherever that was, Kentucky, or where the heck it was. Real similar thing. It was a radio show, but she did a couple of minutes at the beginning, introducing the show, introducing the artist, introducing everybody, thanking all the sponsors, thanking this, that, whatever, and then turned it over to us, and then we played like a pretty good set, and then stopped. She talked a little bit more. Even asked us a couple of questions. You could almost do that.
That was my next suggestion.
Questions, and then we finished out the show playing out. But yeah, I'm in. I'm
for example,
wicked. And it was also on
like
YouTube, that Blue Plate Special thing. So that was like the next step of that as well. Is like, should we be broadcasting it in some fashion?
There was a guy filming it, but I haven't found that video online.
Yeah, we're talking about it.
I'll speak to Mark Newman and see where that footage is.
I already knew we were talking about.
Yeah.
Mr. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
I see him about 5 times a week, man.
Really?
Like, yeah,
because you're local.
Because he's local right there. So we go to dinner a lot over a couple of doors down at whatever the place is. I forget the name of the place. But anyways,
in that plaza?
In that plaza, there's a restaurant at the very end of it, on the far right.
Okay.
I know you're talking about.
So we go there quite a bit. At least once a week we go there. And there's a couple other places around. I've been to Brewhouse, every now and then and stuff. So I run into Mark all the time.
Yeah, that's funny.
So yeah.
He's a nice guy.
If I see him, I'll ask him about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of those kind of guys who's a supporter of the scene. He's always out.
Locale Gastro. That's the name of the place.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Is it good?
Yeah, food's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's changed. It's changed like chefs and managers like several times in the 2.5 years I've lived there. But it seems like every time they change, I'm a creature of habit, man. So every time they change, I'm like, I just got used to like your fish tacos or whatever the hell they were making this time around, for the specials. But then seems like each time they change, like it gets better. So I'm not, I shouldn't complain about it.
Yeah,
it gets better every time. So yeah, it's pretty good, man. We hang out there on like Tuesday nights and stuff.
Nice.
If you're ever around and you got nothing to do, that's where you'll find me.
Good to know, mate. Good to know. So I think maybe we'll do that. And we got to, do you think we should film it and make an episode out of it? Or do you think we should just
I like the idea of just broadcasting it. I can bring one camera. I can, there's internet there, whatever. We can set it up and we can just live stream the thing. A, we can live stream it, and B, have the MC, whether it's me or someone else or whatever it is, but have an MC
feel free
introducing and maybe even just asking 1 or 2 questions of each artist, at some interval or whatever, and then MCing out the end or something.
Well, because it's a Sunday night, we can just split the responsibility, because there's going to be times when you can't do it, times when I can't do it.
Well, that's my next question too. Are you gung ho on Sunday nights being the night for songwriting?
Well, the thing is that I was asked by this lady called Valerie to we were talking about doing a night, an original. She came to me with the idea of doing an original night on Sundays at Brewhouse, and and you know what, she was wondering about which night, but I think the options that we had were like Mondays, Tuesdays, or Sundays, and I didn't want to do like Thursdays is an okay day, but like, it's Fridays and Saturdays is the best days, obviously.
Yeah.
But I do, and Mondays and Tuesdays are always pretty brutal. They're hard to get people out. We had a bad experience trying to do a thing on Tuesdays, didn't we? Like, I wouldn't say it was necessarily because of the Tuesday. There was a lot of factors, but that Tuesday night thing was almost impossible to get people out.
Was that the original songwriter? Was that the Double Roads thing?
Yeah. It was fine, but it was just...
It was tough, yeah.
Tough.
It's tough, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like, how come?
That's the $1 million question. It's I blame daylight savings. I mean, it gets dark at 6 o'clock and people.
Sorry, that's not what I meant. I was curious as to why. I was curious as to why you asked me about what day.
Sunday. Yeah, about Sundays. If is there a different day you think it would be better?
I mean, I think why not try Friday, Saturday, and see which one gets the better response? Because I mean, some people have that Sunday for family. Some people have that Sunday to kind of regroup and kind of get into the new week.
Here's the thing. We might be able to make it good enough where it's the busiest night there and she lets us have a Friday or a Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though, and I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Except I could never go to them because I play every Friday.
I was just going to say,
that's the other
playing
side
devil's
of the coin.
advocate. You have a Friday or Saturday. You have someone like Bryce that gigs out a lot and makes a lot of money, with the band and stuff. Can you ask Bryce to come in on a Friday night and do
well,
a
that's the
a
incentive
low-dough?
too, where it's like if you book it so far in advance, it's just like, hey, what other opportunity are you going to have with a room full of people that want to hear you speak? And on top of that, you're going to be giving content and something like a digital asset too to represent yourself.
You know what else could be good? Like a matinee could be okay too, like 3 or 4 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's my next suggestion. I mean, just like even like an earlier like happy hour slot. Would be kind of cool where people are getting off and it's something different to do.
Yeah, that could work. Like
I know people are craving something different. That's why these DIY house shows are popping up even more. There's a house show going on tonight in DeQuesta right now, and I totally forgot about. But that's why people are just wanting something. I don't know if COVID's the thing that kind of sparked the creativity of more DIY shows around here, private backyard shows, or even something that you guys are doing.
Yeah. What time does that go till? Should we go hit it up after
It
this?
started at 6, so I don't know. It's
Like,
like,
should we wrap this up? You guys are boring me. Let's go to a party.
That sounds good. I live in DeQuesta.
Yes, I know exactly.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. So before we get any further, I realized that we haven't spoken about this. What's this?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. So All Events is the website/company service that I use, that we use when we put on the festival, and it's a company that we use that helps market us a little bit, and is the gateway, if you will, to all the tickets. That's where all the tickets are online, the sponsorships and everything. It keeps track of all that stuff for me. All that stuff goes in, and, they take their cut. I get paid, whatever, and stuff, and then we do the stuff for the festival.
Yeah.
So all of that goes through there. They even have a mobile app, et cetera, and then we can scan the tickets at the door. So it's an all-encompassing ticket system, et cetera, and it's pretty low dough compared to a lot of the ones out there that take a huge cut or charge you some crazy service fee. These guys charge us, I think. They don't charge us anything. They charge the client like $1, I think, for the ticket, So anyways, they reached out to me, God, I want to say it was like 3 months ago, and said we had been selected amongst some other festivals and stuff. And I don't know if they did it by region or how they did it, but we had been selected amongst some other festivals based on the marketing levels and the ticket sales and this and that and whatever. And so, and there was some other criteria like, the size of the festival and in our case, the 20 bands and stuff like that. And that we have been selected as one of the best festivals in their system. And now I'm assuming that we're not up against like,
Reading and Leeds. And
right. Exactly. Summerfest or something.
Well, congratulations, gentlemen.
But they said we had been selected. They asked me a couple of questions and stuff about it, and then said they'd get back in touch with me. And then I got home from this trip, and I had this giant care package. And when I opened it up, it was this plaque and just a bunch of like swag from All Events, man.
It's solid gold, in case anyone's curious.
It's painted solid gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. Does it mean anything? I have no idea. But the fact that I have a plaque sitting on this table saying that we have one of the best festivals around, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think we just got to keep it on the table now. Like when those people have like, 1 million YouTube viewer things in the background.
Well, I was talking to Justin and I said, we have the one, now we have to get more. And then I said, well, that's easy. I can just go to the trophy store.
Yeah, there you go.
And in fact, I could go to Goodwill and I could just buy random trophies, like kids baseball trophies and stuff.
gosh,
We just put them all on the
We should
table.
just be stacked with like medals.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Tom for
You guys should give out
things.
trophies for the 561 Music Fest and just give awards.
Participation
That's a
trophy.
good idea.
Dude,
We should
you
do
know what?
trophies
Why
for
am I not
Festival
part of the
Music
team?
Fest.
This is the second idea that you guys wanted to
Participation trophies. I love it.
have that. But more on a serious note, I mean, like how there's like the VMA awards, the MTV awards.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have
Local music awards.
local music
That's a
awards.
really
set
good
up,
idea.
set up
Oh
everything. Suit and
my
tie
God.
festival.
Tuxedo,
dress to the
baby.
nines. You
Tuxedo.
have to. It's a dress code.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the red carpet. You have your local photographer.
Separate from the festival, though.
Yeah, 561 Music
Yeah,
Awards.
separate from the festival. So it's
561
561 Music
Music
Awards. Yeah, then you
Yeah.
have categories too.
Like the Dundies.
Yeah, they like the Dundies.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you have like these funny awards or whatever.
We have people submit nominations, and
Yeah.
then we do like online voting,
Yeah.
and there you go.
Yeah.
You know what though? Online voting too.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say
I'm not picking them. I'm not- why didn't you pick me? I don't know, Jacob. Why didn't I pick you?
Well, that's how you start. That's how you start the pool, and then just like any award show. I mean, that'd be huge.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
But we'll do it like the Palm Beach Post, like best of awards, where you have to pay an entry fee to get nominated. And so we make lots of
I
money.
can finally get my solid gold hat. But I tell you what though,
That's
it's
actually a great idea.
It's
though,
a great idea,
Yeah.
and we can call it the 561 Music Awards as well, because then it's not called like the local music, which it is, but it just makes it sound a bit of a swisher,
Yeah,
561 Music Awards is cool.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, nice one. Okay,
Yes,
well,
you have different
full of
categories.
ideas,
Yeah, that's like
It's
what I do.
got to be
Yeah.
red carpet. There's got to be the lights all.
Has to. Yeah, I mean,
It's got to be at like the convention center or
Convention-
Kravis Center. the
Crab
Kravis
Center, or I mean, Brewhouse see what they can do with the Kelsey Theater if it's still even
Yeah.
like an option. I mean, just any sort of theater. But yeah,
I don't know.
red carpet,
I don't know what's going on
tables
with
and
that
stuff
place.
too. Everyone's got their dates and whatnot, and like you freaking do so much press and media for it too.
yeah, and
Make
then
it
we
like
can
a
have a
big
night where
thing.
we all get together and write jokes for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Have some
And then
sort of drama that's just happening.
He could say something about my wife, and I can just run up to him and just.
Yeah. I love the idea of the 561, but that has made me very happy. We're going to do that.
Genius.
Genius. We're going to do it.
Because you've been included in this now.
Yeah.
It's your idea. You have to help us now.
As long as I win an award. I mean, what? Best helper? Yeah, right.
Best idea award.
It's actually a good point that Jacob, you brought it up earlier when we were. You know what? This is a bad segue because it's not a good point related to what you just said. I just remembered that you brought it up earlier. You have a podcast. Could you tell us a little bit about your podcast?
It's just an excuse for me to kind of hang out with people. But no, I've always wanted. Like I was doing a lot of podcasts for my clients at the time, and I learned by doing so, and
Sure, me too.
I wanted to, and like I said before, just be a better speaker as well.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me just kind of have something of my own.
Yeah.
That way I can kind of just like cut my teeth a little bit with the editing stuff. Before Autopod came out, I don't know if you know about that.
What's Autopod?
I do.
It's just it edits it for you. I'll
Wow.
show you later. I know he's using it for
Right,
sure.
right.
Nope.
I'm about to change his life. But
He doesn't
no,
edit.
But I was. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's me. I edit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was me
yeah.
for a while, and then now it's him.
And
Yeah.
you know Autopod? You haven't told him about it yet?
We don't, it doesn't make sense for us. The way ours is edited. Well, we get into it later. The details.
Yeah.
But the way ours is edited, it doesn't make sense for us to use Autopod.
Because you're doing the multi switcher. Okay, yeah.
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 Okay.
Um,
Well, I know about the one where you where it creates
Yeah, so I mean, so that
It
that was
creates
the
the-
thing too. I'm obsessed with like the creative process. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with just individuals and just like their thing, just to kind of say it simply too.
Sure.
And for a while, because my business, it's a creative company. I do a lot of just like branding, creative work for businesses, and a lot of it was just people just like, oh, I'm not creative, but they'll start suggesting 1,000 ideas and stuff too. But
All
I'm
the
not
time.
creative.
All the
I'm gonna watch the drone stuff that you're kind of flying over and kind of give a little suggestion
Yep.
here and that.
Yep.
So I believe everybody's creative. They got it. You have to allow yourself to be. So that's kind of
Yeah.
like the whole thing that started the
You
podcast.
keep that little inner child alive.
Yeah, and I just ask like in the beginning, I'm like, do you think you're creative? And then they answer the question, and then we just kind of riff from there.
Oh, nice.
What's it called?
Yeah, it's called Create to Connect.
No,
I was waiting for him to say it's called "Do You Think You're Creative?"
Yeah.
I just gave you the name.
Yeah, I've seen many clips of the one you did with Ricky recently, and it just seems very. That seemed like a very vital conversation. Like you guys are really buzzing, like it was great.
Dude, he's such a breath of fresh air, man. Like he's like any conversation I have. I mean, it's just when listening like after rehearsal where I'm just like, oh shit, man, I gotta go sort of thing. But it's just he's got so much wisdom. He's so just encouraging with anything. I mean, especially like writing and my band, and he's been playing drums for the Connection too, which has been amazing. Yeah. And like this whole new album that we're starting, I feel like no idea is a dumb idea too. And there's like I'm pretty timid a little bit, kind of breaking out my shell a little bit with like certain ideas and this and that too. And just he's very supportive. And
he's a great guy. He's I've had a lot of musical stuff to do with him as well over the past couple of years, and I love the. I love the guy. He's got many talents, and I like how I remember what I was going to say. He has this kind of thing where he can simultaneously be being funny, but also deadly serious.
I know. It's kind of funny where I'm like, oh, you are serious, but it's all good.
Yeah, but like he's an interesting conversationalist because he doesn't. It never feels like he's wasting words.
He really looks into details too. It's cool. No, it's definitely been, a breath of fresh air because we did a live session at Raincat Studios in Jensen Beach, and I'm like, let's just do these 3 songs, original music. Anybody that comes, and that's why I call my podcast Create to Connect, because creativity and connection is like the 2 things I value, and it just funnel into my passion, which is music. Sure. And then so kind of came in, played drums. I'm like, this is kind of how the song goes. Completely make it however you want, but I'll tell you what I like and don't like. Just kind of be yourself, sort of thing. And he crushed it.
The guy's an awesome drummer. I'm playing with him on Saturday, and
he's playing drums?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He plays with Nina's Yard Party. Yeah. And which is the ska project I have. And he's brutal, man. He's a sick player. Like any chance I get,
Yeah. He's can't give enough praise.
Yeah, we talk about Ricky a lot in here. We don't have our bell.
Yeah, where'd the bell go?
We had a bell for every time we talk about Ricky.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ding, 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 dong.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, so I think something else which you discover when you do those kind of singer-songwriter nights is, and you hear like the body of someone's work, is you really start to understand what they're like as an artist that you don't in other settings, like, and as a person, because, a band is different. And so just the fact that these are the songs they chose to sing at this thing and then sung how they're meant to be heard, by the person, I think it's a very different experience than hearing someone with a band. And I think it might be that I think I enjoyed myself at that show more than I've enjoyed myself at a show in like years.
Well, it gave me a lot of perspective too, because coming from your childhood, from all the stories that you've told, like you're kind of painting this picture of you. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong, where you're like on top of a hill. You're talking about with that one song, and I'm just picturing like Mount Everest, and you're just up there. And I'm like, how big is the hill? I was like, well, it's not that. It's not a mountain.
Yeah, and it was great to hear the stories too. I can't wait for the next one. I'm starting to think that that's my favorite kind of gig now. And interestingly, I got the idea, getting back to talking about Valerie about how we were going to do it. And when she was saying, we could do like an original songwriting night. When I thought about it, I thought to myself, one of the things about those kind of nights is that it's listening to one person on acoustic guitar for 40 minutes is fine, but it does start to get a little bit old after a while unless they're your like favorite player. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like the fact that it was broken up like that, it just gives your ears a bit of a rest, and it kept my interest like absolutely throughout the whole thing, and I think it kept the people there's interest too. And I just I also forgot what it was like to be at a performance of music and people actually be listening to it. Because I hadn't had that experience in a while. I haven't been to any classical music or anything in a while. Haven't sat in any listening rooms, and I forgot how great the Brewhouse can be like that. Yeah, there wasn't a peep.
It was cool. Kind of like what you said, JJ. How like all of our backgrounds are so different. So it was really cool to kind of see like this like progressive like pendulum swing from whatever the hell my style is an influence, and then just kind of seeing it like go all the way down to Jutt being like Nashville country esque, and then kind of going right back around. It was cool.
No, it was. I will know very shortly how many people can do this, because I will be trying to book them. And
for sure. Well,
so within the space of a few months, you'll probably be getting a call.
I'm more than happy to do it again. I want my redemption. I feel like I stuttered too much when I was telling my stories, but that's the thing. I mean, I tell everybody there's something special in South Florida, especially Palm Beach County, with like original music and just originality. I mean, you have your cover band stuff too, but the talent's insane. So, I mean, if I knew that like someone like Josh Miles and like Summer Gill and Joey Caldereo and Brett Staska are going to sit in a room, talk about the original songs they wrote, how they wrote it, and kind of banter a little bit, hell yeah, if I'm available.
He just gave you the lineup.
I was just going to say, there's another lineup.
Yeah, exactly. I've spoken to a couple of those people already. Yeah, we got to make that happen. What you just said then was a great lineup. I think, I'm going to talk to them about making that lineup. Yeah, totally. But yeah,
he's going to start charging for these ideas.
I know, right? Well, I have to say, you do have very good ideas. Your brain hasn't become withered and leathery like mine.
It's an idea, man. His whole company is about ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
My internal chat GPT is just bring me a prompt of that.
Yeah, nice one. So I think something else we wanted to talk about today is, and I don't know if you're ready to, but is the festival.
Sort of. Kind of ready. I got sidetracked just from being gone so much. We got back from the UK. I was back for like what seemed like maybe a week or two, and then I was gone again for another 9 days or something. But I'm hopefully going to have everything set up this week, and hopefully by the weekend. And as soon as I do, I'll have Danielle post on our social media. And like I mentioned last time, we are going to have a submission page. So whether you've been on the podcast or not, if you want to play the festival coming up this year, the festival is April 5th, by the way. It's already set in stone, and it will be April 5th. That'll be our fourth one. So if you want to play the festival and you have a band, solo artist, whatever it is, you want to play the festival and you have not played the festival and you are you have not been on the podcast or you have been on podcast, none of that matters. Just submit the form once it's ready. It'll be ready this week. Submit on the form. We will let the form run probably a few weeks, I imagine. We're in November, so I'll probably let it run through like maybe mid-December or something like that. Yeah, like a month. And then once we have all the submissions, we have a few people that don't all know it yet, but I'm roping them into helping us make the selection, so it's not just on us. And we're going to pick our 20 bands, and then once those are confirmed and they say yes, I'm definitely in, we will make the announcement and we'll give all the other details. Venue, we'll give details on the venue. We'll give details, a little more details on the date and all that stuff. As far as I know, as far as tickets and stuff, all that will be very similar. We used to do, or we've been doing for the first three, we've been doing $10 for $10 for the 20 bands. So, I mean, you're getting 50 cents a band. We will keep it at $10 to start for pre-sales. But once you get to the door, it'll be 15 or 20 or something like that. And then we are going to do t-shirt pre-sales as well.
Yeah.
So, so just look out for all that stuff. I apologize. I slacked a lot last week.
I wouldn't say that.
You
explained it well. It's exciting. And April 5th, that's the first Saturday of the month.
First Saturday. Yep.
I'm free. Just saying.
I just looked at my calendar too.
So submit. Submit your bands. Submit your whatever it is, submit it, and and then and then when we turn you down, we can blame Ben. So
there you go.
That's the way it works.
I know that the hardest part with the festival is coordinating everyone's playing times. That is always just so difficult.
Well, it's hard because there's not that anyone is better than anyone else, but there are some bands that fit better at certain time slots. There's some bands that are definitely more, early afternoon bands or that kind of stuff, a little more laid back bands. And there's some bands that are definitely very hard hitting that you don't necessarily want to hear at like noon. You're not quite awake yet, So yes. And then there's the, the Bryce Allens of the world, for example, who get really good paying gigs, and I don't want to drag them away from that for a 30-minute slot or something at our festival. And I love having those kinds of bands in there, but sometimes it's hard because I'm competing with a Saturday night, which is a big paying date night for some of those types of bands. So yeah, it's a hard thing to shuffle and schedule, and it's hard to get 20 bands to commit to begin with, and then once you do, then it's hard to get all the scheduling and stuff. But I think we've been doing all right with it.
Yeah.
I think this last one was really good.
No, I think it works out fine. It's just the doing of it. It's definitely one of the most stressful things ever.
It's a process.
Yeah,
it's definitely a process.
It's so rewarding though to see. It's something that's been so needed since I'm born and raised here, and I've been playing music out since I was 15, and I've just been wanting to see something in this scene that what you guys have been able to do, even as simple as the songwriting night, just to even be included and to be thought of for something like that. Now, the third or fourth annual?
This will be the fourth one. Festival, yeah. We were just talking.
That's
Justin and I were just talking
incredible.
about that. This is the fourth one coming up. It's crazy.
Time flies,
It's
man.
crazy that like Ben and I sat around one day, just a few months into the podcast, and said, "Oh, it'd be really cool if we did a music festival."
And dude, now you're doing an award show.
Right?
And I just can't wait to buy the tux.
I know. I can't wait to see every musician in a nice
I need to
tux.
lose a few pounds for this. Something in a tux.
Like
Tails and top
I'm
hats.
gonna be the
Dumb.
guy that shows up in a tux. It's like really short and everything, and I'll be like, "Man, it fit the last time I put it on in like 6th grade."
Mine's still gonna have the tag on it too and be like, I'm running this right back to H&M.
I'm gonna return this when I'm done.
Oh man! No, I tell you what. I think there's a lot of good stuff to come in the future. By the way, don't forget that December 1st. It's a Sunday, 6 to 10. You got William Kimball, Bryce Allen, Tim O'Donnell, and yours truly.
Woo!
And
My favorite.
we'll be there at the Brewhouse Gallery in Lake Park. If you've never been there, you're missing out. It's really cool. There's a load of art on the walls that you can buy, and Joe, who runs the place, is an absolute sweetheart. And come and check it out. If it was anything like this last one, which was, I got to tell you, I'm not exaggerating, I had the best time ever. So if there's anything like this last one, you won't regret it. And nice one, fellas. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. And again, sorry, Dom, I had a brain aneurysm and forgot to tell
And
you we were
died.
doing it. All right, anyway, see you later.
See you later, guys.
Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Sea Grape Square on Indiantown Rd. And it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water. And it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby foot as they call it in France. Yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue. We can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in and it was a real success. Outside of that, we can record albums. We can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there.